So my name is Tony, and in today's video we'll be talking about steps 4 through 6 that I mentioned in my first video. So if you haven't watched that as yet, it's the steps that I'll be taking to launch our business that we're calling the Hire Company. So you can go ahead and take a look at that, and then you can come back over here and watch this video. Okay, so the first thing I'll be talking about is delivery. Why did I choose a website instead of like a store or trying to do like a wholesale type of vibe? And I'll get into that. So I chose a website because that'll be the easiest thing basically for me to do is online sales and online shopping. In order to do a store, you'll have to go through a whole bunch of paperwork. If you want to have your own store, or if you want to try to sell through someone else's store, that's another set of paperwork, which is easier than having like your own physical store. But online shopping, online websites is the easiest way to go basically for a startup small business. All right, and the website engine that I chose, or the place where I'll be hosting my website that I chose, is Wix.com. Why did I choose Wix? Is because the Wix, the vibe, the templates that they have is what I'm going for. It's clean, it's sleek, and it has a whole bunch of templates that you could choose from, and it's all the same price basically. I know that Wix is a bit more expensive than Shopify and some other websites, but I feel like it's worth the money. And I'll also do a video, if y'all want me to, going through how I designed the website and how I lay stuff out and the behind the scenes of setting a website up, because it is easy once you learn what to do, but it's very tedious. So if you don't want to do it, you could always go ahead and pay someone to do it, but I just chose to do it myself. Another thing of delivery I chose, or the way I'll be delivering the product, is social media platforms. So the social media platforms that I'll be working with is Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Why did I choose those three? Is because of the different demographics that's on each platform. So on Facebook, it's the older generation, and this is also something that we learned during the student challenge that I was a part of last year. So I chose Facebook because it's a different demographic than Instagram, and it's the older demographic that I can reach as well. Instagram is younger people, and TikTok is also younger people, but TikTok has a different turnover rate than Instagram. So that's why I combined the three of them. And I'm really not a social media person, so what I did is, so you could create an Instagram and not a TikTok. You could create an Instagram and a Facebook and link them together. So whatever you post on your Instagram, you could have it to where it posts on Facebook, just to kill two birds with one stone and have that taken care of, so you don't have to go through each and every social media platform. You can still make posts and stuff on Facebook aside from Instagram, and just so you can reach that demographic of audience, not with just pictures, if that makes sense. Another reason why I chose to go with social media platforms is because other than reaching a different demographic, you could have your ads on those social media platforms. So you could go ahead and create the ads, and I spoke a bit more about this in the first video I was talking about, and you could go ahead and set up a time frame you want the ads to run, a budget you want the ads to run for, and it'll reach people. All right, so moving on to, I think this is step number 5, the brand name. How we came up with the brand name. So first, I figured out what I wanted to do, which was candles, and then soaps on the other end, and bath and body type stuff. So I wanted to come up with a name for the company, obviously. And in the first video, if you remember, I talked about having a company name that doesn't limit the products that you could offer to your customers. So I didn't want to go with something that was candles and soaps, or just candles, or just soaps in the name. So I wanted something that was broad so that other products could be offered under that same name. So I came up with the Hire Company, and this is how I did. It was hard, but not really hard. It didn't take me months it will take some people, but it took me a little while to come up with it. So the Hire Company is Haya is my grandmother's nickname, or was her nickname. So she didn't have a middle name, and her name was Josephine, but people call her Hyacinth, so they just gave her a middle name, if that makes sense. All right, so my grandmother died a few years ago, back in December, and I've always wanted to do something with her name on it, just to like let her legacy keep living, if that makes sense, or like keep carrying out her legacy. So that's why I chose the Haya company. And instead of just saying like Hyacinth, I just wanted to take like the first 3 letters, Haya, because that's what I would call her also, aside from Hyacinth. A little backstory on her: she got pregnant when she was a teenager. I think she was like 17. She didn't go to school like the rest of her siblings, like they all went to university, but I think she was the only one who didn't go. However, she always used like her hands and stuff in order to make like a living. And my grandfather was there, like he would work and stuff, but she also had her money coming in on her end from either selling stuff, sewing stuff. Like she would always use her hands to make money basically. And since this is like a small business or like a family business, I wanted her name to be a part of that, because we're basically doing the same thing in a sense, like using our hands, using our skills, and not just like knowledge like book sense, but using our skills to like sell products and make a living. So basically the company name, or our business name, is in honor of my grandmother, and that's how I came up with the Haya company. With branding wise, I know I wanted something like brown, gold, white, like stuff like that. Just go with colors that you know you like, that's also like appealing. All right, so when I came up with the name the Haya company, the first thing I did was Google the word hyacinth, because I don't know if I've ever heard this before or where the thought came from, but I wanted to Google like, is there a hyacinth flower? So it is one. So when I found a hyacinth flower, I had an idea to do like, you'll see it in the logo. I'll put up the logo because it's being made right now, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But I wanted the hyacinth flower above the word Haya. So you know like how Apple has an apple, and like you'll know a company for like the picture instead of the word? That's the type of vibe I was going for. So in terms of having the logo created, I tried to look up a hyacinth flower on Canva, but there wasn't one. So my sister, she draws, and she could draw, but when she went to draw this flower, it wasn't turning out like I wanted it to look. And also she was drawing it on my cousin's iPad, because we don't have an iPad and we don't see my cousin a lot, so it was taking long to have this one little flower drawn. So what I did was went on Fiverr. So Fiverr.com is a place, and this is not sponsored at all, but Fiverr.com is a place where you could have like, people could run your Instagram pages for marketing, you can have logos designed. It's a whole bunch of services on Fiverr.com, and it's a freelance service where people could promote their like the services they offer, and then you as a customer could go on there, look up what you want, and you don't have to be like in a contract with them. You just pay them to do that one service. You can work with them again if you want to, but you don't have to. So I went on Fiverr.com, looked up logo design, or logos and design. I'll just do like a screen recording of it, and I'll show you like what it looked like. All right, y'all, so here I'm just showing you the messages after looking up artists that I wanted to go with. I sent them the image, as you can see in the messages. Then after discussing some things, they went and sent me an offer. Afterwards, they sent me some drafts, as you see right here. I think it was like 2 days later, we did some modifications. Then they sent me the updates later on. But I went on there, I messaged 2 people. One person got back to me quicker than the other, so that's who I went with, because their work both looked good, but I just went with the one who messaged me back first. And I think it's like more than one of them, but that person, their prices were more expensive than the one that didn't answer me quicker, but it was fine. So I went ahead, I described like how I wanted it to look. I sent them a picture of the Haya flower. I told them to like draw it, but like a little animated. Don't go too into like depth or trying to make it look perfect or exactly like it. And I'll show you, it's still being made right now. If they get the finals back to me before I post this video, I'll insert the logo that they created. But yeah, my experience with this person was really good. They got back to me, they did exactly what I asked. And when I see the final product, of course, I'll add it in and show y'all. And I'll also show y'all the process. And it's not easy, and it could get expensive depending on who you want to go with. It's also people who could do like your whole brand look on there, which is something I might do if I can't come up with it on my own, or if I can't like execute it on my own. And another part of the branding that I wanted to do, so like, you know, in YouTube videos, it'll be like this little you could have like a picture or letters in the bottom corner. It's kind of like a watermark on a video, or you know, like Louis Vuitton is like the whole word, but they have LV. So I wanted to have like a couple logos. So on top of the flower and higher under it, I wanted something to put in the bottom of the videos, as well as just like a second little logo. So I'll insert one that I created and like show y'all how that turned out. It's not finished. I'm not sure if I want to draw it out on my cousin's iPad again, or if I want to have someone do it and perfect it for me. But basically the concept behind it is I put Haya, which is HYA, on top of each other, and it created a crown. So it's like, you know, kind of like a vibe that I was trying to go for. But yeah, that's like the last part of like branding and the color schemes and stuff that I decided on. Okay, so lastly is the LLC and business bank account. So the LLC, I'll be applying for it, and then I'll add it into this video. Basically, I already explained it in the first video. You want to go ahead and get it to legitimize your business, and so that you could help you out in tax time. And I think I'm gonna go with the package that gets you your LLC and your EIN number. I'll see about how it goes. I'll do like a little voiceover afterwards, and I'll show y'all how I go about that. The business bank account, I'm not sure I'll have it in this video. If I don't have it in this video, I'll include it in the next video, just to maybe not show y'all, but just let y'all know the process of it. I'll include it and let y'all know how hard or how easy it was. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank y'all for coming back and watching the video. If you haven't, don't forget to go ahead and watch the other videos that I had in this entrepreneur series. And I think the next video will be the last video of like these steps, and then we'll get into the candle supply hauls, making candles, and I'll just take y'all like along the journey with us. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.